Hunter Brown came out and had a really good start, another quality start, his fourth straight quality start. And the offense, despite hitting 2 home runs, couldn't do enough. So we're going to talk about Hunter Brown, the bullpen. Do we need to switch things up? A reduced role for Diaz, and why these bats can't seem to hold up their starting pitchers. Hey, Yiner, I need you to hit that intro.
Yainer Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett Htown Wheelhouse Chancey.
Hey, everybody, and welcome into a Sunday night edition of Locked On Astros. If you're listening on Monday, happy Monday. I hope you have a good week and start to your work week. We are Locked On Astros. I'm Htown Wheelhouse. You can find me at Htown Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok. You can find me at Stros411 on X, Instagram, and Facebook. We're always positive, always Stros. You can find my co-host, Eric, on a cruise right now. Well, they haven't won 3 in a row, so Eric gets a reset. If the Astros can sweep the Cardinals while he's on the cruise, he will have to do a live podcast with me from the cruise and figure it out. Eric, you are on the clock. We are counting on you to bring us a sweep. Today's episode is brought to you by Supply House. Go to supplyhouse.com, and it is a reliable way to get parts fast. Shop for your next plumbing, HVAC, or electrical job and get fast shipping from coast to coast at supplyhouse.com. My dad's a retired master electrician. I promise you he would have loved Supply House. So, hey, thank y'all for tuning in. Despite the win, despite yesterday's win and the loss today, we thought we had it in the bag. We took the lead. We had a home run. We thought, okay, good, here we go. We take the lead. Bregman hits the home run. We have Caratini hits the home run. Surely with another quality start, we're going to get a W on the board. Well, that's not it. So let's talk about Hunter Brown, and then we'll get to the other stuff. I've got a lot of quotes to throw up there, so I'm not going to be paying much attention to your comments. I will try to go back and answer some questions, but I've got a lot to cover tonight. So bear with me. Y'all can chat it up, but I want to focus on Hunter Brown because I think this is an important thing, and I'm wondering if this is just kind of how this club is going to be until there's a major shakeup in this clubhouse. Hunter Brown, he was out for his 3rd straight outing that he had gotten through 6 innings. However, in those 3 starts, you can see here on the screen, he is 0-1 with 2 no decisions in those appearances, while the Astros have only scored only 7 runs over those 3 games. So when a team is scoring 7 runs in 3 games where your pitcher is getting quality starts, the problem is not the pitching. The problem's not even the back end of the bullpen. The problem lies in the hitting, and we'll get to the hitting after that. Let's look at this. And Brown's 4 quality starts this season. The Astros are 0-4. This is what Brown said. As a starting pitcher in this league, you want to go out there and give the boys a shot. Soon, it's going to turn. In other words, soon it's going to turn, and it's going to lead to wins. That quote got cut off because of the character limit. Thank you, StreamYard, for that 200 character limit. But Hunter Brown, he's not expressing a lot of frustration, but I'm pretty sure he's getting frustrated. So this is what Hunter Brown says with Caratini back there, because we noticed that for a 2nd straight day, Yainer Diaz was on the bench, and I have a quote from Espada on that when we talk about Diaz in our next segment. He said, over the course of the game or the season, things change, whether it's Victor back there behind the plate or it's the approach that maybe we have with some guys. I think each day is a new day, and you've got to go out there and compete. Some days certain things are maybe better than others, so you might rely on them a little bit more than maybe a different time. So that right there, Hunter Brown is basically saying it's not necessarily a Caratini or a Diaz problem. It's really situational. I remember talking to Jimmy Endersby. He's no longer with the Astros. I saw him pitch in a game when he was with Corpus before he got promoted to AAA. Then later on, I believe he was DFA'd. I'm not sure where Jimmy Endersby landed, but he was an up and coming prospect. He had moved his way through the system, but in Double-A, he was talking about how he had this certain game plan. An umpire squeezed him for 2 straight innings, and it threw him off. He ended up giving up 6 or 7 runs, but then he settled down. He said he had to reconfigure his game plan throughout the game because of the pitches being called, the strike zone being shown. And he went to go tell that umpire what he thought about him having to basically force Endersby to change the game plan. So we got to remember there's so much that goes into pitching. It's not just a guy go out there and performing. It's what the hitters are doing. How are they adjusting? How are you feeling? Like if you feel like your pitch is going well, what else is working? But today, Hunter Brown had 11 swings and misses. Hey, Richardson for the Twins had 12 swings and misses, and he gave up 2 home runs. I mean, this was a 4-3 loss. The Astros, you got to understand, the Astros aren't losing games by massive margins. They're not giving up a ton of runs, but they're giving up enough to where this offense can't, if it's over 3 runs, this offense is not going to be able to back you up. And I'm wondering, is there something that's going to happen? Is there going to be a domino that falls because of the lack of offense? Like, who is going to be on the hook for this happening? Okay. And so this is what Joe Espada said about Hunter Brown. Okay. He said this. He said as in Hunter Brown, he's pounding the zone with his fastball. He's getting ahead in the count. 2 pitches, those home runs there cost him some. But if he goes out there and gives us that performance every time out, he's given us a chance to win. He's moving in the right direction each start. He continues to get better. That's what we want to see. Now, it's a mystery, and I'll get to the bats. I'm going to save the talk for the bats in the last segment, because before we do that, I want to talk about in our next segment, I want to talk about Montero. I want to talk about Abreu. I want to talk about Presley. I want to talk about Hader, because I think the back end of our bullpen is something that we need to discuss about maybe doing a little switcheroo back there, because there is one person that I think would be a very valuable trade asset for that. Did the Mariners win? I am not sure if they won. I can look real quick on the scoreboard as we're talking right now. I see that Oakland lost. I'm looking for other AL West teams. Texas won. Oh, wait, was this today? Yeah, 6-0. And then let's see what happened here. Seattle won 5-1. I believe that is an updated score. Let me just double check that, because I'm not sure I'm looking at today's scores. So yeah, Texas won 6-0 today, and then Seattle won 5-1. So yes, the gap continues to widen for the Houston Astros. They really had in their sights. They're now 7.5 games back of the Mariners, 4 games back of the Rangers. Think about this. 4 games ago, we were a half game behind the Rangers. A half game. And you got starting pitchers that continue to go up there and shove. And at some point, Justin Verlander, or somebody has got to step up. Somebody has got to step up, okay? At the end of the day, and when I say somebody's got to step up, someone like Verlander, someone that's a veteran, needs to go to this offense and say, guys, we are giving you everything we got. We've got to have a better deliverance from the offense. We've got to have more bats on balls. Victor Caratini hit the home run. We had 3 home runs the night before. Alex Bregman hit a 2-run home run today. I mean, the bats weren't terrible, but Jose Altuve was out of the lineup until the end, and he went down on a very, very, very bad. I can't believe he swung at that last pitch. I was there in the club level, and wow, that was absolutely brutal. But before we get to our next segment, I want to say hi to someone. I want to say hi to some guys that listen to us, actually a family that listens to us all the way from Tennessee. We have Miss Lori Gilbert. Now, Lori Gilbert, her and her two sons, Colby, and I believe Colby, and I want to make sure I get both of their names right. Colby and is it Garrett? Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Oh, sorry, Colby and Cooper. Colby and Cooper. That's right. Colby and Cooper Gilbert. Okay. They listen to us every day going to school. They listen to us. They're everydayers. They reached out to me. I did a little message for them on Instagram. And right as I was doing the message, Victor Caratini hit a home run. It was so cool. So guys, Gilbert family, thank y'all for listening. Let's move to the next segment here soon. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Download the app today and use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match of up to $100. You've heard me talk about basketball. You've heard me talk about hockey. But let me tell you about baseball. You got a chance to turn $10 into $1,000. In your favorite sport this summer, you can pick a Prize Picks lineup in as little as 60 seconds. You just need to pick more or less on 2 to 6 players. Then you are locked in. And they have promotions from week to week. They also have a chance for you to cash in on the action with Prize Picks. And it's available in 30 states, including Texas, California, and Georgia. You'll love that. Prize Picks even offers injury insurance. So if your lineup stays in play, even if one of your players gets injured for baseball games, if you have a player who registered 2 plate appearances or less, Prize Picks will have your back and not count that as a loss. So go to Prize Picks today. I use it. It's fun. It is a great app. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. That's right. This episode is also brought to you by Locked On Sports Today. Check them out. It's the only 24/7 sports channel that covers everything from baseball, football, basketball, hockey, everything in between. Go check that out for the latest and greatest stories in sports. It's the only 24/7 streaming channel. And also check out the Locked On Astros postcast with Michael Connor, who has you covered Monday through Sunday, basically. We will come on special things, special games like Saturday. I had to come on because that was a great win. You love to see it. And so thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for making Locked On Astros your first listen every single day. Now let's talk about this back end of the bullpen. And I really think that we need to do some switching around, because as it goes right now, whenever we have the back end, we usually have Montero, then we have Abreu, if I'm not mistaken. Then we have Presley, and then we have Htown, correct? That's usually the order that they go in. Now, I want this switched around. Because I don't like this order. And this is what I want to see, okay? I want to see Presley in the 6th. I want to see Montero in the 7th, Abreu in the 8th, and I want to see Htown in the 9th. I'm not moving Abreu down any. This is the order I want. I want Presley 6th, Montero 7th, Abreu, and then Htown. Now, Presley, I think, is becoming a candidate to trade. Sorry if you love Ryan Presley, but this game is not about feelings. It's about facts. And let me show you something. There are a lot of things that Montero is doing better this year than Ryan Presley. Let's go with the stat head. What does stat head say? WAR for Rafael Montero, 0.5. WAR for Presley, -5. Games, 24 Montero, 23 Presley. Innings pitched, Montero's pitched 2.1 innings more. They're both 0-1, 0-2. Presley's ERA 5.06, Montero 3.04. ERA plus 128, ERA plus 77 for Presley. It's almost double for Montero. Now, Presley has more strikeouts, okay? He has a higher strikeout rate. He has a lower base on balls. But I would have to say that right now, Montero is the guy that I trust more than Ryan Presley. And I think that we honestly need to think about putting him on the trading block. Let's look at someone like Baltimore. Let's look somewhere. Shoot, I don't even know off the top of my head who has a plethora of relievers, but Baltimore would be the first place I go. I hope Presley's not on the injured list. I hope no. So they've clamped down on phantom injuries, bros. Bros 1, 2, 3. They were doing so many phantom injuries in New York that the Mets GM or former GM got fired over it. So they are clamping down on that stuff big time. It is just one of those things where we've got to change that back end. So this is what I would like to see. Again, I want to see Presley in the 6th. Presley still needs to go out there if he's on this team. Then Montero, then Abreu, then Htown. You could change Abreu and Montero depending on matchups. But I like that order, and Htown has done a much better job lately. Now, we need to talk about Yainer Diaz as promised. Oh, the Cubs could take Presley. I wonder who they would give us in return. Oh, man. Speaking of Cubs, did you see Dansby Swanson get a hit to put them ahead? And then guess who went out and closed with vigor and just excitement? Freaking Hector Neris. Gosh, I love that he's having success, but I hate that it's in a Cubs uniform. So what about Yainer Diaz? So Joe Espada was asked, hey, Yainer Diaz, 2 days in a row you sat him. Can you tell us why? This is what Joe said. I wanted to give Yainer a couple days just to reset and rest. He's been working with the hitting coaches, trying to get some stuff, working with the swing. Just give him a little breather. Hey, that makes sense. And look, this is something I've talked with Mike Stanton about. And I think it needs to be said on this show because I maybe haven't stated it enough. We've got to look at this being Yainer Diaz's first season. He's got so many factors. It's not just one thing. And I'm not making excuses for him. If you're the starter, you've got to produce. Your expectation is you are a power hitting, a strong hitting, a solid hitting catcher. You're also supposed to, you have the best pop time. You're supposed to be able to gun guys down, so on and so forth, yada, yada. But here is the problem. And I want to get off the Neris thing. I want to focus on Yainer Diaz. Yainer Diaz is the captain of the rotation, I guess. He's the guy with the game plan. He's saying these are the pitches we're going to throw. Okay. He's also struggling at the plate. Not only is he a full-time catcher, it's his first full year. He's also now he's got high expectations. I mean, he talked to us in that interview how his family have always given him expectations. When I interviewed him the year before that, when he was a rookie and lost his rookie status and didn't get enough playing time where he lost Rookie of the Year. Thank you, Dusty Baker. He said that he always has goals that not only he has for himself, that his mom, his dad, like it's a family affair. All three Diaz brothers, one in the Cubs organization, one in the FCL, one with the Astros, Yainer himself, they're all catchers, okay? And he's got a lot on his plate. And again, I'm not making excuses for him. And Yainer, after meeting him and talking to him more than once, he doesn't make excuses. So he's not, oh, come on, guys, give me a break. I got a lot on my plate. No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is we've got to consider what's going on here. He did look up to Maldonado. He did look to him for guidance. It was very much a professor and student relationship. How do I know that? Because Yainer himself told me that. So that can't be refuted. That's a fact. Well, he's not here anymore. We know that. So now it's Yainer's job. I think Victor Caratini here is a very smart signing because he's got more years under his belt. He can probably help mentor Yainer a little bit more. And Yainer loves to learn. He's very smart. He's very, very smart when it comes to baseball. And I remember talking to Rafael Htown, his agent, about his brains in baseball. And he said, look, Yainer's going to be a manager one day. He's that good. And maybe he might be overthinking it a little bit too much. But a reduced role for Yainer, I don't think would be a bad thing. I think it would benefit him. I think it would benefit the team. It would benefit Caratini to get out there and get more action because Caratini has been hitting the ball. And in the last segment, we're going to talk about the bats and why they can't seem to keep the starting pitchers leads that they get, and why they can't hold. This episode is brought to you by Supply House. For all your plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supply needs, go to supplyhouse.com. Get supplies on the site that is made for skilled tradesmen. That's right, supplyhouse.com is a reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 top brands. Get your order delivered right to your door with fast shipping from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Get expert support from industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the business, and talk to a real person every time. Pros in the skills trades. Get a competitive edge by joining supplyhouse.com's free Trade Master program. Every Trade Master gets its own dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from the free membership at supplyhouse.com/T-M and order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at supplyhouse.com. Hey there, somebody asked me what Victor Caratini's base running throwout percentage was. I just looked it up while that commercial was playing. And right now in 2024, he's throwing out 22%. He's had 29 stolen bases. He's only caught 8 of them. He has had 15 wild pitches. Now, last year, there were 35 steals. 15 of them were caught stealing. That was a 30% clip. So that is a dip. That is a difference. His fielding percentage in 2024 is .989. Let me see, what else would there be? League range factor. Yeah, I don't know that. Yeah. So there's all these other technical stats. I'll just be real honest. I don't know what RDRS per year are, but I can see that 22% is an 8% drop from last year from his 32%. So that has been tough. Now, let's look at Victor Caratini has actually, I think he's been pretty successful behind the plate. And Victor Caratini's throwout percentage, let's see what it is, because I can find that really quick. Advanced pitching, field. Let's do this, fielding. His caught stealing percent in 2024 is 26%. Now get this, in 2023, he only threw out 14%. And in 2022, he threw out 27%. In 2020, when he was with the Cubs, he threw out 33%, respectively. 33, 17, 28, and 25. So 26 is about the median between his highest and his lowest. But 26%, he's thrown out 6 runners on 17 stolen bases. So Caratini has a higher percentage, but it's not the same amount. So let's get Caratini with the same amount. I'm pretty sure it will be higher. I really do think that having Caratini on here is doing some saving for Yainer Diaz. So the bats, what is going on with this offense? I don't understand. Look, Alex Bregman's starting to hit. Alex Bregman, I believe in 9 of his last 11 games or 12 games, he's hit safely. He's had like 6 or 7 multi-hit games. He's hit 5 or 6 home runs. Alex Bregman is heating up. And I know his average is still on 224, 230. But, is it the lineup, Daniel? That's a good question. I don't know, because today I was like, hey, I kind of like the lineup. I kind of liked what Joe Espada did. You rest your all-star second baseman, your MVP, your first ballot Hall of Famer second baseman. You put your guy with the top OPS with a 974 OPS, your second in American League in home runs, and one of the leaders in the, I believe, MVP discussion, Kyle Tucker, Alex Bregman, Yordan Alvarez, and Jeremy Pena. That's your top 4. That's not bad. Now, Pena did not look good today at the plate. His 2 strikeouts were all on sliders and changeups down and away. One of the things I will say in defense of major league players, down and away, missing those pitches, is I think a lot of times it depends on the depth of the pitch. If that pitch is not dipping or falling, the pitch shape isn't until almost late in the zone to where it's right at the plate and then it drops, then that's hard to see. You know when a pitcher spikes a ball? I believe the day before Hader spiked a ball like 8 feet in front of the plate. I mean, obviously, you're not going to swing at that. But when that ball's coming right at you and it dips at the last second, if you've already started your swing and you have your eye in one plane and you're going here and that ball dips under your bat, that's a millisecond adjustment. But at the same time, as a major league player, as a major league hitter, you're paid to be able to pick up on those things. But yeah, Jeremy Pena just didn't look great today. Jake Myers was 0 for 3, had 2 strikeouts. He didn't look great. So Pena and Myers both had 4 strikeouts. Caratini had the home run. Alex Bregman was 2 for 4 again, a multi-hit game, hitting 229 now, almost 230. I got it almost on the nose. Chas McCormick went 1 for 3. He had a strikeout though. Jose Altuve came in, his only pinch hit appearance. Didn't look good. It was a terrible at bat. Jose Abreu got a walk. Jose Abreu got on base. I mean, look, there's if these guys can contribute all together in one night, there's not many teams that can beat this offense. I mean, argue with your mom on this one. Think about it. Altuve, Pena, Tucker, Yordan, Yiner if he gets hot again, Caratini the way he's been hitting, Jake Myers, Mauricio Dubon, Alex Bregman. If in our lineup, if 7 of our guys can hit at the same time, if 6 of our guys can hit, so we had 1 multi-hit game tonight. If we can get 4 to 5 guys getting 2 or more hits, just about, let's say 3 out of 4 games, you're going to win most series. Your pitchers are putting up quality starts. You are looking more like the 2005 Houston Astros than you are the 2022 Houston Astros. Now, I know 2022, that's a wild comparison because 2022, everything went right. Like everything. That's literally the phrase is the ball's just bouncing your way. Okay. Kind of like when the Braves, when the Nationals, these teams that have been below 500, I'm going to try to find this tweet real quick from Michael Schwab, because Schwab had a great tweet about teams under 500. Okay. And it was showing all the different teams that were under 500 at the same point that the Astros are at, and they made the World Series. Of course, every time I try to find something on my phone quickly, I can never find it. Why is that? It's almost like when I'm looking for a spoon and all I can find is a knife. It's like rain on a cloudy day. Sorry, I had to go back to Alanis Morissette. But where is this tweet? It was grand. I wish I would have retweeted it because I would have been able to pull it up. But if I can't find it here, I will share it with y'all later. But it was phenomenal. Basically, good Lord, man. You see what the Astros are doing to me? They're throwing everything off. This is just, this is insane. It might sound crazy what Presley, McCormick, and Bregman for Mike Trout. No. Omar, Mike Trout never plays. Mike Trout is a rich man's, what's his name? Who is the, I totally went blank on the guy that came from the Nationals to the Angels and signed, and he can't stay healthy. What is his name? The third baseman's name. Anthony Rendon. Good Lord. He's a rich man's Anthony Rendon. But, oh, man. Yes, Rendon. Thank you. I don't know what the answer is. You can win the game with only 3 people hitting, but true, you can, but not this team. This team can't. Yes, that's why Presley's got to go. Look, hey, I don't care. Keep Jose Abreu, whatever. You're paying him, whatever. Keep Abreu. Presley's on the wrong side of baseball age. You're not paying him $19 million like you are Abreu. Let's go ahead and see if we can't. Can't watch other teams' podcast. No, Kevin Kirby, we don't mind you watching our podcast. We love you being here. But if you come in here to agitate and create chaos and go at people, then if that keeps up one more time, I won't just put you in timeout. I'll ban you. And if you make more accounts, I'll continue to ban you because this is our show. You don't get to come into Astros territory and do what you want on this show. No. So if you keep it up, you're gone, sir. This is my podcast. This is Eric's podcast, and this is the Locked On Podcast Network. If you got a problem with it, go start your own podcast, sir. Don't come over here starting trouble. Period. End of story. I make the rules. You follow them or you're gone. That's all I got to say. So, hey, guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in to Locked On Astros. Remember, we're your team every single day. We love you guys coming in. Even people that are from other fan bases, we don't mind you being here. But, hey, just play nice. Play nice. Don't poke the bear and expect the bear not to bite back, all right? So, hey, I'm Htown Wheelhouse. For myself, for Eric, who's on a cruise. Have fun, sir. If you fall in, say help. Throw me a life preserver. Astros, they need a life preserver. Y'all have a good one. I'll be back. And this week, I've got a couple special guests I think you're going to like. So you got to tune in this week. I don't care if the Astros are winning or losing. We got you. We're your team every single day. Go Astros. And when I translate that on to automatic text, it says Ghost Rose.